Whoa, 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 whoa. That looks good. So if no one thinks it's weird that I've got a GoPro on my forehead.
I don't think anyone thinks it's weird.
Nah, I doubt it. I'll just tell them I'm filming a documentary.
Yeah.
Alright. Bye.
Bye, love you.
Love you too. Whew, God damn, it is fucking hot. It is a toasty day out here in Knoxville, Tennessee. It's gotta be like in the 80s or 90s already, and it's only 11 o'clock in the afternoon, but I figured it's a pretty nice and bright day out, and I kind of want to see just how good the GoPro can record, because I don't know, in the last video, fuck, there goes my water. In my last video, it should have been recording at 2.7K 60 frames per second, but for whatever reason, when I rendered the video, and I rendered it at 60 frames per second, it only came out at like 30. So that kind of irked me, and I just chopped it up to it being cloudy and a lot of the footage being indoors. So, you know, hopefully today it's nice. There's no excuses. So it should be at 60 FPS. Yep. Crossing my fingers. But I guess we shall wait and see. Pothole incoming. That wasn't even that bad. Just trying to grab my jug of water. Let's see if I can catch any crazy shit on the road today. Watch, the one day I record, everything's gonna go smooth, everyone's gonna drive like perfect. I don't even know if you guys can hear me right now because I turned the wind reduction off, because apparently that makes the sound quality like dog shit, and I'm just kind of testing the waters right now. Speaking of waters, let me just record myself unbuckling my seatbelt while behind the wheel. See how many laws I can break in one video. That'd be a good challenge. Give me like an hour, and I'll name it something like breaking as many laws on the road as possible in 1 hour. Just on the road, that'll be one video. I can make another video where it's like breaking as many laws, and we'll just kind of go from there. It's like a commit armed robbery or something. That'd be epic. But I guess I can use this as kind of like an update, because this isn't like really, there's really no point to this video. It's kind of just me driving around and I guess talking. But a lot of my friends now know this channel exists, which that's pretty swag. I hadn't really intended on any of them finding it until I became successful, and if I didn't become successful, I would just never tell anyone about it. So, but it seems like that is now out the window. So yeah, I think like, let me see here. Yeah, I think like eight or nine people know about my YouTube channel that I know like IRL. I think at least 8 or 9. Which, it's pretty, like I said, it's pretty cool. Welcome to my journey as I kind of see what content sticks. Because, I mean, I was doing the gaming videos for a bit there, but I don't know. I'm not completely opposed to doing more gaming videos in the future, but I don't know. I don't really play like video games that much, like just on my own. I can't even tell you. Like the last time I actually sat down, oh, actually I can. The last game I actually sat down and played from start to finish was Spider-Man PS4. That's a good ass game. If no one's played it, highly recommend it. And it actually just came out on PC, but it's like $60, which is kind of some bullshit because the game is like fucking 5 years old or something at this point. But I don't know, my personal recommendation, get it on PC if your computer can handle it, but wait a little bit for the prices to drop. But I actually 100% of that game, because it was like through and through, it's a pretty damn good game. But I mean, as far as like video games in general go, I have like a few good ideas. I kind of plan on sticking with the PS3 games for a while, or maybe switching. Damn, my boy, we're going slow as shit. But I kind of plan on sticking with the PS3 videos for a little bit. I don't know, that was like my favorite console, and all my friends who are watching this can attest to this. I used to like bring the PS3 to the fucking to the sleepovers. Everyone would have like their Xbox Ones, their PS4s, and I would pull up with the PS3 and play like Advanced Warfare or like Uncharted 3 like all night. I don't know, it's just a great console, and honestly, one of the best features of the console is the free online. Like, that to me is the best part of having a PS3 or a PC as well, is the free online, because I'm not with all the subscription based services. Because like, I'll go through periods where I'll play like, I don't know, games for a lot in like a short span of time, and then I'll stop, and then I'll play again, and it kind of just comes and goes. But I've never really been a fan of like subscription-based services, PS Plus, Xbox Live, all that bullshit. And sometimes it's nice, like if I haven't played in a while, just to kind of like pick it up and play again without having to like, I don't know, spend like 20 bucks on a fucking, on a 1 month, like on a 1 month subscription to PS Plus or whatever. So, but I mean, overall, the PS3 is like, with all its flaws, it's still a pretty good console, and I've got like a bunch of games on it, and I feel like I can make some pretty good content. I mean, it's old, and most of the games have been like played to death, but I don't know, I'll try and put like a new spin on it, because I mean, I looked up people on YouTube who are like playing the PS3 in particular, and besides like people from other countries, it really doesn't have that huge like an audience. So we shall see on the gameplay. I'm putting it on a hold for a minute. Because I mean, I finally got the Elgato all set up, and that thing was a bitch. Like, getting that set up was such a hassle. I wonder if people like see me in the rear view and think I'm like trying to record their license plate or something. That'd be awkward. Getting the PS3 set up was like kind of a bitch, because for anyone who doesn't know, the PS3, and I'm pretty sure like all the PlayStations, have like a feature that is like, I don't know if it's like in the hardware or what, but they've got a feature in them where if you try and like just plug in your capture card like straight from the PS3 to your PC, it's not going to work. It's called HDCP, I think, and it's implemented so people can't like record movies and just, you know, re-upload them to like 123movies.xyz. And I mean, in theory, you know, it's a pretty cool like anti-piracy feature, but the only issue is it blocks games too. So unlike with the Xbox 360, the Nintendo Wii, like all those other consoles that were around that same era, the PS3 has this extra feature, and like I said, you can't just like, you can't turn that bitch off. Like the HDCP, unless you like jailbreak your PS3, that shit is just like permanently implemented. Now, I know with the PS4, they took that, they didn't take the feature away, but they added, which thinking about it, it's kind of stupid. Like they added a way for you to turn it off within the console itself. So it's like, if you're turning it off and people actually are trying to pirate movies, which honestly, like in today's day and age, like who the hell is trying to pirate movies off of like a console? It's just like, bro, if you don't go on your laptop or your phone, like your iPhone, and just screen record that shit. But anyway, they added the feature so you can just go into the settings menu or something and like flip that bitch off. So it's a little bit easier, but with the PlayStation 3 you have to buy a whole separate piece in order to use your Elgato, your capture card, whatever the fuck. So I've got the PS3, which is plugged into my TV, which is plugged into, I think it then goes into a splitter, which one is plugged into the capture card and one is plugged into like the TV or something. Actually, I don't even remember. There's so many, like I've got like 5 HDMI cords. What the fuck is this bullshit? I've got like 5 HDMI cords plugged into this bitch, and it's a mess. Like, my cable management, non-existent. It's terrible, but I don't really have like the means, and honestly I don't really care enough to actually make it look good. So but I mean, I've got a pretty nice PC, and I've got like 100 games just on Steam alone, and I've got a couple others that like aren't on Steam, but Steam is like my main source of like buying games, or actually really just storing games. I get most of my games off G2A, which is kind of like G2A is a little seedy, but just always make sure you buy from a seller that has like a good reputation and probably isn't going to scam you, and you should be all right. Knock on wood, I've never had issues with G2A, but I know there's like horror stories online, and it's more of like an ethical thing, because you know, the reason why these games are so cheap is because, I'm pretty sure, is because a lot of them are like pirated, and then people will sell them for like a discount. That's what I think. Take that with a grain of salt, because I honestly don't remember like the actual reason why G2A games are like as cheap as they are. But yeah, if you're looking for cheap games, G2A, or really any like key reseller website is gonna be your best bet. I know that I like playing like old CODs. That's like, I mean, as you can see, if anyone's like looked at my channel, you'll see that the majority of my content has been like old Call of Duties, because I just honestly, I prefer the gameplay. I prefer like the flow of them, and it's a little bit more casual, because I was never like, again, if you watch my gameplays, you can tell I've never really been that good at COD. I mean, I have my days depending on like who else is playing, but the older generation of consoles player base for these Call of Duties is a lot more laxed. You'll run into a few sweats and tryhards, because that's kind of like inevitable, but it's like nothing compared to like new gen CODs. Like I have Cold War on PC, and fuck, I'm gonna run into a dead end here. But I have Cold War on PC, and it's pretty fun. Like, don't get me wrong, but dude, I don't know. It seems like a lot of these kids who play COD still like just sit on it for like 20 hours a day. Like, sit right in their little sweaty, greasy gamer chairs, just sipping like G Fuel. What the fuck? I don't know where the fuck I'm at. All they do is sit there, sip their G Fuel, play COD, and just like, I don't know, just no life it. Which, I mean, you know, do you know, spend your life how you want to, but I mean, my God, man, like once in a while, I promise, I swear, once in a while, touching some grass, it's not that bad. I promise you, this message goes out to all the gamers out there. Going outside, fresh air, leaving your gamer cave, and just getting a little taste of like IRL shit, it's not bad. But, you know, rant over. I suck at the game. Wah wah, I know. Cry about it, whatever. But I mean, I guess once I get some ideas for what I really want to do besides gameplays, then I'll probably start uploading some COD shit again. Actually, no, we're going this way. Or not some COD shit, but some like PlayStation 3 shit, and then eventually probably some PC shit. But I don't know, maybe I'll just end up like scrapping it and just going all like vlog, which I mean, my life isn't really that interesting, to be fair. I mean, I work at Walmart and I come home and did I just do a fucking circle? Am I coming out from the other side? Dude, I gotta get back on a fucking main road. Detour. Let's not go into a ditch. But my life, to be honest, ooh, blind hill. That's one thing to look out for here in Tennessee. They've got blind hills everywhere. Like, I've probably come so close to death so many times just from blind hills. Is that dead or is it being that way? Like, the Tennessee Department of Transportation, or whoever designed the roads here, fucking inbred. I shit you not. This is awkward. I hate this. Let me try and not record these people's scripts. No, I'm kind of scared, honestly. Just driving with this GoPro, like, it's not inconspicuous at all. I wore a black hat because I hoped it would blend in, but this thing sticks out like a sore thumb. Like, I'm pretty sure you guys probably saw it when I looked in the mirror in my bathroom. You can tell I'm wearing a fucking camera on my forehead, and these Tennessee people, they're paranoid. They're a little weird, but even worse than that, they're fucking armed. They're all armed to the teeth, and if they think I'm like snooping around, hopefully my front end is not in the road. If they think I'm like snooping around, trying to record them and shit, like, they will not hesitate to shoot first and just never ask questions. I'm gonna actually follow these people and see if I can't find my way out of this neighborhood, especially because this seems like a nice neighborhood, and they're either gonna shoot me or call the cops on me, and neither outcomes would be favorable. So let's see if we can't find our way back to the main road here. Start doing a little more exploring. I might see if I can go to... I might go to Magnolia. It's a little seedy over there. I kind of like the drive-thrus of like seedy neighborhoods, but we shall see. I guess we go left. I can even like see out the window right now, because I tried to do a little test, a couple little tests to see like how the footage would look from this angle, and detour. See, like, what the fuck? I'm just gonna go this way. I might have to pull up a map. My internal compass is absolutely horrendous. Like, I never know where the fuck I'm actually going. But what I was saying was I tried to do a couple little test runs to see just how the footage looked from this angle, because this is my first time using the head mount, and yes, let's go. I mean, it looked all right, but you know, there's a couple factors here. First one being the damn wind. If it's like too windy and you guys can't hear like a single word I'm saying, gonna be a little irritated, not gonna lie. And then of course, if you can't actually see what the fuck I'm filming, that's also gonna suck. Try not to look at people for too long. Yeah, he's kind of wicked. rest in peace, Casey. Or, not Casey's, the pilot, dude. Pilots used to be everywhere. And now, like, unless you're counting the truck stops, they're actually, like, non-existent. Which, I don't know. It's just another, like, billion-dollar gas company. Like, it's not like it really fucking matters. There's Shells and Exxons around here. And all types of shit. But, like, I don't know. I kind of like Pilot. They had some good coffee. They had those, you know what Pilot had that not many other places have? They had those coffee makers where it would grind the beans up in front of you. It would grind the beans up in front of you. Like, I had never seen that before I moved here and went to my first Pilot. That shit is, like, revolutionary. Because, like, back home, the major, like, place you get coffee, the major convenience store, is a Wawa. Shout out all my New Jersey viewers. Because Wawa is still, like, top tier. Well, now, you know what beats Wawa? Sheetz. I would say if I had to pick between, like, Sheetz and Wawa for, like, the #1 convenience store to go to, it might sound blasphemous, but I gotta give it to Sheetz. Like, Sheetz has, I mean, that's tough, actually, because I've been going to Wawa my whole life, and I've only recently, let's just go around that bitch right now. I've only recently, like, within the past couple of years, been to Sheetz, and I don't know, I feel like as far as, like, drinks go, Sheetz has it. Like, Sheetz holds it for, like, drinks. Like, Wawa has the good milkshakes and smoothies, don't get me wrong, but Sheetz selection is just, like, it's just better. They've got, like, Red Bull slushies and, like, milkshakes and shit, and that, let me tell you, those Red Bull, Jesus Christ, those Red Bull milkshakes hit. They are so good. But I feel like as far as, like, the fresh food goes, I gotta give it to Wawa. Now, as far, like, for their systems, like the make to pay, the little screen thingies that you tap on when you're making your order, Sheetz is better because they have, like, you can create, like, a profile, and then you can save all of, like, all your favorite drinks, all your favorite foods, and then it's just like, bam, it's right there every time you go to Sheetz and every time you go to order. Now, I don't know, it's nothing crazy. Like, it's not like they have a huge selection, and I mean, if you're really going to a convenience store to order food that much, it's like, goddamn, like, cook some food. But I don't know, my cooking extent is kind of like Chef Boyardee and ramen, so who am I to talk? But yeah, I think it would go Sheetz as, like, #1. Wawa #2, and then after that, it doesn't really matter. Like, to be honest, they're all the same. Motherfucker. They're all the same with, like, very slight differences. And I don't know if you guys can see with that white truck up there with all the racks on the side. Looks like a truck for transporting glass. Like glass panes and windows, doors, and all that. And the reason I know that is because I used to work, prior to Walmart, I used to work at a glass tempering warehouse. And that job was about as fun as it sounds, but it was a good experience to learn, like, what a factory slash ware. Damn, he ran the fuck out of that light. You can't tell if he's trying to get over or if it's hazards or no. I guess he's chilling. Had, like, his hazard, or if he had his blinker on instead of his hazards, or if he was trying to get over, because he had his blinker on for, like, a solid minute. I don't know, in situations like that, I tend to just try and hang back, because I'm saving up for a new car at the moment, and I would prefer not to have to shell out all the money I have right now for, like, a shitty car that I don't want. And I'd rather, you know, keep this car for as long as I can before I eventually sell her to a coworker when I'm ready to buy my new car. Knoxville for a little bit. And while I do believe, looking back on it, it was a good experience. And I mean, honestly, if you're someone who like doesn't mind working, like you're cool with working 10 to 12 hour shifts, like 5 days a week, and then the occasional like 6-hour shift on Saturdays, then I'm gonna tell you right now, factory or warehouse work, that might be a profession you might want to look into, because they will work the shit out of you. Like, I'm talking work you like a dog. The pay was about 16 an hour, so like the pay wasn't even that bad, right? And then, you know, because you're working so much, you've constantly got like overtime coming in. I mean, I worked with people who were like a couple years older than me, right? And like these dudes were clocking in at like 100+ hours a week, like per week, 5-day work weeks. That's not even including, because it was bi-weekly pay, so that's not even including like your second week. Like, dude, that shit is crazy to me, because like, hold on. That shit was crazy, because like, don't get me wrong, like money's great. I love money, who doesn't? But I feel like there's a point to where, you know, just making money all the time isn't worth it if you're sacrificing like your personal happiness. I mean, to be honest, I would get done working there most days and literally have enough energy to come home and go right to sleep. Like, that place would have me dog tired. The work itself wasn't inherently too hard. I mean, I was pretty much just grabbing like sheets of glass as they came off a conveyor belt and just putting them in a rack, like an assorted rack of where they went, and then they would then be shipped out. Or actually, no, there was a whole process, but basically I would put them on a rack for what route they were going to for deliveries. And I just did that for like 10 hours a day, you know. And some mornings I'd wake up and they'd be like, yeah guys, get ready, because we're looking at another 12er today, another 12-hour shift. And I would just like die inside, you know, because I'd be going to bed at like 8 p.m. I would try and be in bed by 8:30 and then asleep before, like, preferably before 9, but I would take like before 10. Anything later than that and I would just end up being exhausted the next day. And that I don't know, to me it wasn't worth it. You know, I made my money there, and they were training me to operate the oven for a little bit there right before I left, but it just got to the point, like, I was getting like drunk every like Thursday night or at least when I would get home. I was getting drunk like every Thursday afternoon to Thursday night, because it was like the last day before the end of the week, and I would just be like, you know, I deserve to treat myself. And then after getting like drunk, because at the time we had moonshine, so I was getting like shit faced on a work night. Like, it became almost like a routine toward my last couple weeks there. I would get like shit faced Thursday night, and then wake up on Fridays and just like absolutely sloshed. I would feel terrible. Start like calling out Friday mornings because, you know, I was hungover, I was tired because I often wouldn't get enough sleep because I would stay up extra long drinking. And I mean, I don't know if anyone like else deals with this when they drink, but for me, like personally, when I drink, it does something to like my stomach. I'm pretty sure this happens to most people, but it gives me like, not diarrhea, but it makes my guts run. I'll say that and I'll leave it at that. It is not pleasant. And you know, I'm waking up dealing with this, and it's, you know, it's 4 in the morning, so I would wake up at 4. It's 4 in the morning, I'm waking up, I'm shitting my brains out, I'm hungover, I've got a headache, I feel like I'm about to like vomit, and all in all, I gotta be at work in like a half hour. So like, no shit, I'm calling out. You know, because of my own mistakes, of course, but that's just like what that job pushed me to. And I don't know if I'd say I came to like dread it, because it wasn't like terrible. Like my fingers, I was getting, there's a term for it where your fingers start like locking up. I guess it's kind of like early arthritis, but it's not arthritis. What was it called? Maybe it was gridlock? I don't know, it might have been called gridlock, but essentially, I'm gonna try and get my fingers in the shot. What my fingers would do, and I'll try and like repeat this the best, because thankfully they don't do it anymore, but what my fingers would do from, you know, from the act of me lifting up like sometimes 100 plus pieces of glass all day, my fingers would like lock up, so I'd go to like close them, and they would go like this, and then I couldn't naturally open it like I'm doing right now. I could only go like that, and then it would lock back into place, and I can only do that. Like, dude, that is terrible. I'm 20 years old. Like, personally, I'm not trying to deal with that right now. You know, I kind of want to have at least most of my joints and appendages working for the next few years. And when I started noticing my hands doing that, I was like, hell no, dude. Like, you've got to be kidding me. I am not getting paid enough for long-term damage to my body. So, long story short, everything was going fine. I started getting drunk. I started becoming like an alcoholic. So I was getting like early arthritis, and I was becoming an alcoholic. So, you know, what a wonderful combo there. And, you know, it came down to a couple of days, or a couple of weeks, I should say, where I was calling out like every Friday, and they were like, are you good? Like, why do you keep calling out every Friday? And I was just like, I'm kind of just like beat around the bush. Like, just, you know, shit. And eventually I called out. I think the last time I called out, it actually might have been a Monday. Called out Monday, and you know, I was hanging out with my girlfriend, and I just kind of came to the realization, I was like, this job sucks. Like, I'm miserable, she was miserable, because we barely got to spend any time together. Our schedules were like conflicting, and like I said, I would come home so tired that I would just, you know, I would get home and I would either be asleep when she came home, because I would get home at around like anywhere from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. She would get home around like 6 to 8. So, you know, sometimes she would come home, I would say hi, and then go to sleep, and we barely saw each other except on the weekends. And, you know, a lot of times I would spend like, you know, most of Saturday sleeping in, just kind of letting my body recover, which I feel like, you know, at my age, I shouldn't really have to deal with that. You know, that sounds like an old person thing. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm just not built like like all these other people. Maybe I'm just not like, maybe I'm just a pussy. But yeah, I realized that job wasn't for me, and now, you should never do this, right? Do as I say, not as I do. But after I called out that last Monday, and then I think I called out Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, I was just like, yeah, I'm not coming back. And, you know, they tried to get me to stay because there is a work shortage, and any employer that you try and leave, regardless of if you give it 2 weeks or not, they're gonna try their damnedest to get you to stay because, you know, everyone's desperate for work. And honestly, that was one of the reasons why that company was working their employees so hard, is because they just didn't have the manpower to, I guess, meet the status quo, or they didn't want to cut back on it. And after that, I immediately started the job hunt. I went to my normal spots, you know, Indeed.com. I never really mess around with like any other apps besides Indeed. I never really bothered to like set up a LinkedIn or I mean, what else really is there? Snag a Job. I kind of use that for a little bit. Off topic real quick, this is Magnolia Ave. Now, if you ask any local residents of Knoxville, chances are when you ask them like, what's an area to avoid, you know, they're most likely going to tell you Magnolia. Now, me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I grew up in the suburbs. Like, I was not deep in the trenches, so I don't really have like, I guess, much reference when it comes to like hoods. But I mean, really, Magnolia is not that bad. I don't know, maybe I'm used to like hearing all this stylized violence from like rap music, and you know, seeing shit on the news about like gang activity and shit. And I mean, I don't really hear much about that out here. Now, would I walk like on that road I was just on? That's like East Magnolia Boulevard, I want to say. Would I walk there at night? No. But you know, with that in mind, it's still not too terrible. Like, it's not that bad of a place. The main thing you're really gonna have to look out for, I would say, is probably the tweakers. You know, Middle America and, you know, the southern region of North America has a pretty rough meth problem. Now, regardless of where you go in the country, there's going to be a drug problem. You know, there's the opioid epidemic if you go like up north, and I mean, really wherever you go, there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be some issue regarding drugs. But Tennessee in particular, them southern boys, they love their meth. And you know, you find a few of the ones who haven't like been sleeping for a few days up wandering the streets at night. And I mean, hell, there's people like that even where I live. But I feel like you're more likely to find it around here, just more frequently, I guess. So you kind of want to avoid them. If I had to take like my chances fighting off a tweaker versus fighting off like a smack addict, which for anyone who's not in tune with the lingo, that's heroin. You know, I would take my chances with the heroin addict, like hands down, because the tweakers, they're like, you know, they're all, as the name implies, tweaked out, because they've been up for days on end just smoking meth constantly. They're starting to hallucinate. They're, you know, if they've run out of meth, now they're starting to fiend, so now they're getting pissed, and it's just, it doesn't seem like a good time. I've met a couple tweakers IRL, and, you know, I like to think most of them were nice at some point. You know, people start doing drugs for all types of different reasons, but, you know, addiction is, it holds no bounds. It holds no prejudice. You know, it doesn't matter who you are, what background you come from, you know, what you're like, if you have an addictive personality or not. It doesn't matter. You know, that shit will grab you, and it will get a vice grip on you, and it will snatch you up and it will eat you alive. And I feel like the reason, or in my opinion, the main reason the war on drugs failed is because the people who were trying to teach the youth and the upcoming generation about all the dangers of drug abuse, they kind of lumped everything in as one. And that's a problem. That's like propaganda. You know, like the person teaching that shit must have been high. They must have been, if they were trying to say that weed is on the same tier as like meth and heroin and, you know, all this other crazy hard shit. Like, you can't do that, because then when people try smoking weed for the first time, which plenty of people do in like high school, and then you think, oh, well, the DARE program lied to me about weed. Weed is cool. You know, what else is cool? What else should I try? And, you know, that's a very, like, surface level reason, I think, to why people start doing, like, harder drugs. But it happens, man. It's not uncommon. How you get to modern America. And I mean, I don't remember like the percentages from like statistics and shit, but you know, a lot of people are hooked on these drugs. You see all these homeless people, and not everyone is a tweaker, not everyone is a junkie, but a lot of them are. You know, the homeless population would be significantly lower if we weren't in such a fucking drug craze right now. Contacts drying out. Oh shit, can you guys see that? Hoover Criminal Crip. Interesting. Dude, this light's gotta change. Charge my fucking battery. Alright, I'm gonna pull over and find a nice shady spot, and I'm going to swap out my battery, because I did bring my spare. This GoPro, like, I don't know if all GoPros do this, but this GoPro dies so quick, and that might be, you know, partly due to the fact that I'm shooting at such a high resolution and at 60 frames per second, but these things, like, this thing dies so damn quick. So, I'm probably gonna cut this part out. Or maybe not. Oh, that's a part. That actually might be perfect. I can pull into that park there, find a nice shady spot, and I'm gonna get some new batteries plopped in. Now my other battery probably isn't much higher up, but I mean this one's at 29. Least I can do is try and charge this one up a little bit. Anything to get out of the fucking heat. Alright, I'll catch you guys in there. Alright, as you can see, it is hot as hell out. This new battery that I have in the GoPro only has about like 35% on it. I got the other one charging now, but I don't really think that's gonna get it charged enough. And this thing is getting like hot as hell. Like I don't know if these things are supposed to get that hot, but regardless, I'm probably gonna start heading back home soon, so I will bring you guys along for the ride. All right, welcome back. I'm in desperate need of a shower. Let's head on home. Let me know if you guys like this this style of video. I'm really just trying some new stuff out. I figure, you know, I'm trying to keep the mentality of create content that I would want to watch, and I kind of like these kinds of videos where it's just like, I don't know, pretty much just driving around, you know, just going somewhere with no actual destination in mind, just kind of talking. I guess it's kind of like the same reason people watch like Twitch streams, you know, because it's kind of like having someone there to talk to, except, you know, of course this isn't live, but yeah, I mean, if one person says something in the comments, like, that's all I'm asking for. Now I know my friends watch it, so there's no reason they shouldn't be commenting. They're jamming. But let me know what you guys think, you know. Drop it down below. Tell me if you loved it, and I'll do some more. Tell me if you hate it and I should kill myself, and I will do that. But, you know, any feedback, good or negative, is always appreciated. And I mean, right now I'm not really looking to make videos that are like, you know, trendy or kind of tailored to get big views. In all honesty, I'm keeping my expectations pretty low. Just kind of having fun with it right now, you know, trying some shit out. And I'm really open to anything at the moment. I actually don't remember how to get... Wait, I'm on Magnolia again. Tweet again. Okay, so I guess I go left, I want to say. monetary reason, but more so just to kind of build an audience. All right, maybe selling out was like the wrong word for it, but make content that is less of that holds less of a personal value and is more suited for a mainstream audience. That's a very PR version of saying selling out. And you know, I mean, once I've gained a big enough audience, I mean, then I can just go back to doing what I'm doing like right now, or maybe I'll enjoy the new type of content. Who knows? Just kind of throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks at the moment. also going to go and check out some spots and like actually get out of the car in the future. I'm pretty beat today. I'm gonna go home and charge up the GoPro batteries, get a shower because it's gonna be nice to be clean, and then I'll probably call it. But the weekend is fast approaching, and I'm excited. Payday is tonight. Since I work third shift, I get paid like right after midnight. And, oh, is it sweet? Wait, oh, shit, is today Tuesday? Actually, I might have capped. I might have capped. I think today's actually Tuesday. Shit. Alright, so I lied. Payday is actually tomorrow. So that shit's gonna be nice. Get a nice little check. Going right to the new car fund. Been donating some plasma as well. I'll touch on that more once we get going. I've been going and donating plasma recently. It's something I did like a couple months ago, and then I decided recently to switch plasma centers because you get like a little bonus for your first 8 donations, but once you complete your first 8, then it goes by body weight. So, you know, you go from making anywhere from $100 to $150 per each donation down to, well, it varies because it goes by body weight, but for me personally, I would make like $40 to $60 per donation. And, you know, donating plasma is cool. Like, I'm all for helping people out and all that, but you know, I kind of like the money, high key. The money's nice, and you know, I'm just gonna keep hopping from plasma centers all around town until I run out, because I can make about like $1,000 with those little 8 bonus donations. And I mean, once I've used up all the plasma centers in the area, then I'll just excuse me, pick the closest one to me and only donate there, because I mean, it's still money, you know. Ooh, there's a homeless person there. But yeah, that's pretty much gonna do it for the car vlog. If you're new here, check out my old videos. They're pretty swag, and I'll see you guys in the next one.